Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Friday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glenn Orashipura.
And I am Aina Koyo.
Thank you for joining me this evening. Let's get into the news tonight. Unemployed residents of Walvis Bay, under the guidance of NEFF's Commissioner Saddam Amushelelo, on Thursday expressed their dissatisfaction with the lack of response from the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources with regard to the allocation of quotas for unemployed youth via a petition handed over to the Minister's Regional Chief Control Fisheries Inspector, Malcolm Block. Now, failure to resolve amicably will mean job and benefit denial by your ministry. We are giving your ministry until the 15th of December at 5 p.m. to respond to our petition. Failure to do so will mean a loss of faith in the leadership of the Ministry of Fisheries, and we will be left with no other option but to embark on national protest for the removal of the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources and Executive Director in the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, said Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters Walvis Bay Deputy Leader Emmanuel Pombili. NEFF previously handed over a petition to the ministry on the 22nd of April on the high unemployment matter, but have apparently not received feedback on their petition to date. Do you think the anger of these protesters is justified?
Absolutely. I feel that as human beings, the moment we do not get a response from something that is really, close to our heart, it can really anger someone. And I always say that, we have today to ensure that we are catalyst of tangible change. And so then, they deserve a response because, unemployment is really a pressing issue right now. And, just to restore that hope, some of which has been deferred, I think would mean a lot.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Now getting into our next story today, IPPR in partnership with Future Africa International Namibia and 10 Billion Strong launched the Namibia Renewable Energy Fellowship in Windhoek with the goal of fostering the next generation of leaders in the renewable energy industry and providing a platform for youth to highlight the roles and opportunities available to them. The Namibia Renewable Energy Fellowship is a trailblazing initiative. The 8-month program includes 39 participants. Let's take a look.
Let me get started. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here today. I'm happy to be here on behalf of the U.S. Embassy and congratulate 10 Billion Strong, who is one of the recipients of the U.S. Embassy grant. This project is in line with the U.S. mission's goal to support Namibia's clean energy sector that will contribute to economic growth. We look forward to insightful discussions and collaborations that will contribute to the advancement of our shared goals in the fields of energy, sustainability, and environmental responsibility. I want to express my thanks to Patrick Arnold of 10 Billion Strong and the Namibian partners, Future International Namibia and IPPR, for their unwavering commitment on climate change and renewable energy initiatives. Namibia has taken a significant step for clean energy by participating in the green hydrogen production project. The United States, too, is dedicated to achieving net zero emissions by 2050, with a specific focus on a net zero power sector by 2035. Recognizing that the energy sector contributes approximately 75% of global greenhouse emissions, reducing its carbon footprint is crucial to advancing the global goal of limiting Earth's temperature increase to no more than 1.5 degrees Celsius. The impact of global warming is becoming increasingly evident, underscoring the urgency for all of us to join forces in this ongoing battle. Sharing information and collaboration on solutions is key to addressing this pressing issue, and Pratchett's commitment is a shining example of the positive change that can result from such collaborations. As we are all aware that the U.S. and Namibia, amongst many other countries, are attending the 28th UN Climate Change Conference in Dubai, one of the objectives of this conference is to increase public support for a multilateral, whole-of-society approach to addressing the climate crisis, including collaboration across sectors in industry, government, funders, and NGOs.
Now, Aina, do you think these fellowship programs are necessary?
Absolutely. I believe that the best way to set up anyone for success is by training them, empowering them with the necessary knowledge and skills to take up space in a particular industry. So I commend them for, investing in the future.
And especially now that Namibia is moving towards creating a green hydrogen industry. So totally a step in the right direction. Getting into our next story, the city of Windhoek has appointed councillors to assist its 15 councillors who have complained about not having sufficient time to attend to city affairs. It follows a motion by Affirmative Repositioning Movement member Job Amupanda, who wanted councillors to be assigned research assistants to help them with the execution of their duties to the Management Committee for deliberation. Now, city spokesperson Harold Akwanye confirmed that provision had been made for the appointment of assistants, adding that the initiative's primary objective serves to afford students and/or young graduates experiential opportunity and practical exposure as a means to foster their capacity development and skills, which would allow them to compete in the broader employment market. The city had a database of students and young graduates it could source personal assistance for the councillors from. Now, Akwanye explained. What are your thoughts on this initiative?
You know what? I am not angry at this initiative. Assistant for one, but job for the other. They are creating jobs for a lot of people who are unemployed right now, and well done to them.
I totally agree. Getting into our next story, embattled oil parastatal NAMCO, which finds itself in a dire financial situation, is said to be in secret discussions to terminate the employment of its suspended managing director, Emmanuel Mulunga. This is according to company insiders who said the parties are close to reaching an agreement, with discussions now fixed on the amount Mulunga would take to vacate his position. This follows Mulunga's suspension following allegations that he authorized the payment of $100 million for an oil block in neighboring Angola, an action he carried out without the approval of his principals. Mulunga has been on suspension since April 2023. The company is also heavily indebted, a situation which threatens its existence. Company insiders indicated that lawyers representing NAMCO and Mulunga had met to map a way forward to conclude an exit package. Both Mulunga and NAMCO board chair Jennifer Komali pleaded ignorance to the separation negotiations. Now, NAMCO is already having a tough time financially, and now they have to pay out expected millions. What do you think? Is this a step in the right? I mean, do you think they're going to survive?
I don't know. I don't know what's in their coffers, but I surely hope that they do survive. This week, I was listening to radio, and I heard that NAMRA is owed money by NAMCO, and then they issued them they say they wanted their money. So I wonder also, really, it's a good question to ask if they will survive, because they are definitely in debt. So I don't know.
They're going through some troubled times as of lately, and so we keep our fingers crossed, because we have a state-owned something that we could be proud of. Hopefully they survive this. After the break, we'll be getting into your economic news. Do stay with Sunset News.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Getting into our economic news, South Africa has addressed most of the technical compliance deficiencies that led to it being grey-listed by the Financial Action Task Force in February 2023, though much work still needs to be done to boost the effectiveness of legislation aimed at curbing money laundering and terror financing by improving the investigation and prosecution of such crimes. Let's get into our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.56, against the euro at 20.31, against the US dollar at 18.65, 2 Namibian dollars and 61 cents gets you 1 Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, gold, copper and Brent crude oil went up while platinum went down. Brent crude oil trading at 0.61%, going for $81.05 per barrel. At least 120,000 people are being held in compounds in the Southeast Asian country, according to the UN Human Rights Office. More details coming up after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Okay. Getting into our international news, at least 120,000 people are being held in compounds in the Southeast Asian country, according to the UN Human Rights Office, and are forced to work scamming their compatriots online. The trafficked citizens from China, Vietnam, and other countries are told to target and groom their compatriots before cajoling them into plowing money into fake investment platforms and other ruses. Blue Dragon, a charity that rescues victims from human trafficking in Vietnam, said the scamming gangs set quotas for how much money each trafficked worker needed to extract from the scam victims. If targets are not met, workers are subject to physical punishment and, more recently, organ removal. In August, the charity rescued a 36-year-old Vietnamese man from Myanmar who had been forced to sell his kidney after being trafficked into a scam casino. Wow, this is rather gruesome. How can law enforcement protect people from human trafficking? What are your thoughts?
I think that it's not only a law enforcement issue. I think it requires collaborative effort from, law enforcement, the public at large, the government and private sector. I think that we need to hold each other's hands in order to combat, human trafficking in our society. I think on the law enforcement side, we can definitely make the law stricter. And then also we need to educate our people on what exactly to do when you are being human trafficked, or how to spot signs of human and so forth and so on. But I think it's an issue that requires collaborative effort.
Yes, I recently found out that at the airports they have actually people that are placed there to spot. They are trained to spot people who might be trafficked or are on the way to being trafficked. And also I think that's a good step in the right direction into combating this issue. Getting into our next story, Singapore has said it is considering building artificial islands off its east coast to protect low-lying areas against rising sea levels caused by climate change. Engineering and environmental impact studies for the Long Island project will start in 2024 and take 5 years to finish, National Development Minister Desmond Lee said on Tuesday. Now, land reclaimed for the project could span 800 hectares, giving the densely populated city-state more space for homes, parks, and industry, Lee said. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong warned in 2019 that rising sea levels pose a grave threat to Singapore, and coastal defenses could cost around $75 billion or more over the next 100 years. Singapore's land use planning agency, the Urban Redevelopment Authority, has asked for public feedback on the project, which could take several decades to develop. Artificial islands could be built off the coast at a higher level than the mainland to form a line of defense against rising sea levels, the URA said on its website. Is this progressive? What do you think? This is quite interesting.
I definitely think it's progressive. I think that if you are having a problem, the natural reaction is for you to come up, with mitigative efforts to try and combat that problem, and that is exactly what Singapore is doing. They see that, we could be experiencing rising sea levels. Let us do something to prepare should such an event really happen. We always say that, prevention is better than cure, and I think that is what they are proving. They just want to be safe than sorry, and that's fine.
Do you think such an initiative would work in Africa as well, in terms of using AI to combat some of these problems that we might face?
I think that we are living in an artificial intelligence era. We are currently in the 5th industrial revolution. So yeah, it would work. That is the direction we are all moving to as a people of the world. So why not? Let's give it a try.
Well, after the break, we'll be getting into the weather predictions. Do stay with Sunset News.
Newsprint Namibia is a web offset printing operation that specializes in the printing of newspapers and commercial inserts. We are the leaders in our industry, with the highest quality print work and the shortest turnaround time from computer to print and delivery anywhere in the country daily. Newsprint was established mainly as a newspaper print company, but had to diversify its business to do commercial printing as required in the market. We print commercial inserts previously printed in South Africa in the shortest possible time. We, as an organization, also started printing workbooks for our education system and will also print textbooks for the Namibian market. For more information, please contact print@newsprint.com.
Now, as we have seen lately, the country has been experiencing some rain, so it's a good idea to get into our weather predictions. Kariba Mulilo can expect a minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and a maximum temperature of 36 degrees Celsius. Oshakati can expect some showers with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. Henties Bay can expect some partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 17 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 19 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth will also be expecting some rain with a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. We now head over to the sports desk.
Good evening and welcome, that is, to the Sunset News Sports section. Despite a gallant performance, the Debmarine Desert Jewels of Namibia lost 52-42 to Zambia in their second match at the 2023 Africa Netball Championships played in Botswana at the indoor complex in Gaborone. In the first quarter, Zambia led, that is 13-10. In the second quarter, the Jewels tried to catch up, but their quarter ended 26-21 in the Zambians' favor. The third quarter saw the Zambians extend their lead with 10 points, which was, that is 38-28. The fourth quarter was better for Namibia. However, Zambia sealed the deal, winning the match by 10 points, 52-42 in the final. Namibia's Richelieu Eagles were crowned T20 Africa Cricket Champions yesterday afternoon after concluding their 2024 T20 World Cup qualification campaign with 6 wins from 6 matches. Uganda also qualified for the first time. They won 5 of their 6 matches, only losing to Namibia, but beating Zimbabwe in a historic clash at United. Although Zimbabwe failed to qualify, they scooped all available individual accolades. Captain Siganda Raza was crowned the best batter and best player of the T20 Africa final, while Richard Nagavara scooped the bowler award. Create Gymnastic Clubs and Tumep Gymnastic Club have joined forces to take on the 14th Memorial Lazar Kristic and Marika Deslovic, scheduled for 8 to 10 December in Serbia. The international gymnastic competition will see 6 Namibian gymnasts go up against competitors from 14 countries in the Junior and Senior International Gymnastic Federation categories. They are Anil Kuber, Senior FIG, Annalene Thorborn, Senior FIG, Anno Brink, Senior FIG, Sureshni Andrew, Junior FIG, Johnny Thorborn, Junior FIG, and Zenodine Mizain, age group 14. A bigger group this year. The group will be accompanied by team manager Petra Thornborn, Judge Nadine Jacher, and Mothei Anderson, the coach. They depart on Sunday. Thornborn said, "Last year we only represented Kreti with 2 boys, one of whom was Cooper. This year we have the girls, and we are very excited to see what is the competition going to bring for us." That is all we had for you tonight. Good night.
Getting into our entertainment news, after weeks of discussion and deliberation, the judges of the 2023 Bank Windhoek Duke Literary Awards this week announced the winners of the second edition of these crucial and community-building awards. With the announcement of the 2023 Bank Windhoek Duke Literary Awards long list, the local literary in Namibia was abuzz with excitement and discussion about the fiction, non-fiction, poetry, and visual art that was eligible for consideration by the judges. Adjudicated by Dr. Nelson Mlambo, a lecturer specializing in African literature, Natasha Uys, a well-known journalist and the winner of the 2021 Non-Fiction Award of the BWDLAS, and Namufu Amutse, one of Namibia's most talented visual artists, who also won the inaugural Visual Arts Award of the BWDLAS in 2021. These years' offering of writings from Namibia provided the reading public with writings covering a broad set of themes. I mean, I'm so excited that the Windhoek Duke Literary Awards is at this stage. What are your thoughts?
You know, I love winning. I love to see others win, and so then I'm very proud of these winners. I'm very proud of the work that they are doing. It's very difficult to be an artist of any sort in this country, and so then to be recognized for the work that you are doing, I think that is something that really is amazing, and it really just validates that you are worthy, you are deserving, and you're doing great.
And that there are platforms as well, because I am a writer too, and I've dabbled in, I don't want to say dabbled, I do write poetry.
Yeah.
And to think that there's a platform like this that can showcase my work, I mean, I'm quite excited for where this magazine is going forward. Now, with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Thank you so much, Aina Raizakoya, for joining me on today's Sunset News. From me, Glenn Rashipura, until next time.